I'm gonna go ahead and enter, guys, another sell. Looked like that was overextended right there. And sure enough, we've got another win. So that's 3 wins so far. Who needs candles when you can trade using the line chart inside of Pocket Option? This and more coming right up. Hey everybody, Mark here. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Instead of using candlesticks inside a Pocket Option to trade with, we're actually going to be using a line chart, which is a little bit different and not as popular compared to a lot of the different strategies that we see out there. However, I found a couple members inside of the VIP group. We have a Telegram group, and we've had some members that have really received some great success with this. So I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly how it works. It's called the Linebacker strategy, okay? And so all you need is a line chart and a stochastic oscillator. That's it. But there's a couple settings that we're going to have to change on these. And so up here on the chart, the first thing you're going to want to do, also make sure to check out my private Telegram group where members are earning anywhere from 5 to 50% per day on their trading accounts. No shady signals or copy trading, just real actionable strategies. You'll get full access to all my trade managers and calculators that are designed to help you stay profitable. Plus, you'll discover some of the best trading strategies in the world for binary options. If you're tired of getting screwed over, blowing your account, or dealing with unreliable communities, then this is the place for you. Reach out to me right now on Telegram and be a part of this rapid growing group that is making waves in the trading space. Link in the description for more information. Make sure that you have the chart type set to line. And as soon as you do that, you're going to have a lot less options to work with. You don't have to worry about which time frame to set. Here it's just, you do simply just click on the line option there. And then next we're going to add an indicator. So over here, let's make sure to select the stochastic oscillator. Now, once you select that, you're going to have that oscillator appear at the bottom of the chart. Now, you can contract and expand this chart. I would recommend to expand it. If you hover your mouse just over here on the right, just at the top of that indicator, you're going to have a little up arrow right there. Go ahead and click on that, and that'll make that indicator just a little bit larger so it's easier to see. And then so for the settings for this, let's go over to the name just to the right of the name of the oscillator. Click on the pencil icon. That'll bring up the different options here. And so for the inputs, most of these are going to be the same. The changes that you're going to want to do is set the percentage K period to 7. And I think this is set by, it's set on 14 by default. But 7 is going to work just fine. And everything else should be the same as long as it looks just like this. You've got 733 with a simple moving average, and then move over to the styles menu. And the only difference here that I've done is I've changed these colors. I've set these from 1 pixel to 2 pixel for the line width, just to make sure those stand out a little bit more. And also I've changed the overbought and oversold areas, the carry period and D period. I've changed the top one to 95 and the bottom one to 5. Just to widen up that area to give us a little bit more room to work with. And then that's it. So go ahead and click on save. And you should be pretty much ready to go. The only other thing that you're going to change is going to be the expiry. You can experiment with this. Some users just like to trade with a longer expiry time. That's totally fine. If you've got the patience for that, you can choose anywhere from like a 10, 15, or 30-second expiry. That's totally up to you. But just to make things a lot more fast-paced for this strategy, and I found that the 5-second expiry works really well for this. So let's go ahead and set that. And then so for the markets, we're going to be using OTC. So before we enter and before we get into the market here, let's go over to the Wealth Warriors Trade Manager. Now, this is a very powerful trade manager with advanced mathematical calculations that allows you to win even if you have losses. And this is available to all of the VIP members inside of our private Telegram group. So for me, I'm starting off with an initial capital of $300. But that's the exact capital that I have over here on Pocket Option inside of my real account. So I'll make sure that enter that in there. and I'll set my settings, whether that be risky or very conservative. These are the settings that I personally like to use with the trade manager. Over here on the trade amount, I'll make sure to look at the first trade amount that the trade manager gives me, which is 109, and then I'll go over to pocket option and enter that in. All right, and we're all set to go. So let's go ahead and zoom in here and I'll show you how this works. So we have the orange and blue line on the oscillator, and you can see it's just going up and down and up and down. This is really all it does. And this really helps us to determine and predict, where the price could potentially go, and we can enter the trade based on that. And so let me show you what I mean. So we've got the orange and blue line. It's coming down. It looks like it's reaching this lower area here, which we would normally say, okay, well, this is an oversold point in the market. And then it's reaching that 5% line on the stochastic. So we're anticipating a bounce off of this area right here. And as soon as it reaches or comes close to that 5% line, we can see it just bounces right off of that and it starts to go up. Look at that. So if you look up here on the chart, you can see as soon as that, or these two lines, the orange and the blue, come down, they reach that oversold area. Look at that. You can see we get a little bit of a pump there, and you can start to see the market move back up. And that's all you really need. You just need a little bit of a bounce, either from the top of the oscillator or the bottom of the stochastic oscillator. That's really all you're doing here, guys. Now, I'm actually going to do some live trading here for you to show you how I would approach doing this. It's something unique. It's a little bit different. If you find yourself, you're a little bit tired of looking at the red and green candles all the time, try this out. It may not be for everybody. We've had members that have found success with this. So, just give it a try. That's, and definitely this is something that you're going to want to practice with on demo, of course. So just look through here, and you don't even have to trade. You can just open up the line chart and go back and look at the stochastic and what it's doing, and then look up here at the line chart, and you can see how it's just mirroring the performance of what's happening on the oscillator and the indicator. Let's check this out over here. So we've got, look how this orange and blue line has came down to the 5% area on the stochastic. And sure enough, as soon as it reaches that oversold area, we see a nice little bounce, and you can start to see the price come up on the line chart. Look at that. And we can catch those areas and make profits around those zones. So without talking about it, let's go ahead and jump in here and start taking some trades, guys. I've got my trade amount set up correctly inside a pocket option. I've got 109, which is going to be my starting point. Looks like we're coming a little overall downward trend here a little bit. That looks pretty good. Look at this orange and blue line coming down here. I want to wait until that comes down a little bit more, looking for a bigger, stronger push down. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and take a buy right there. Go ahead and enter. We got about one more second to go, and we got a win. So awesome. So what do we do after we have a win with the trade manager? I'm going to do this pretty quick. I'm going to come over here and just mark this as a win. Of course, the next trade size is under $1. And since we can't trade with less than $1 inside a pocket option, I will go ahead and consider this trading session completed. And let's go ahead and I'll mark this as one session completed over on the session counter. Great. The new balance inside a pocket option is 301. Let's go ahead and put this in here. Awesome. Let's go ahead and do the next one. The trade amount for the current initial capital is going to be 109. And that's the same amount. So let's go ahead and continue. I'm going to probably switch the chart here. Let's look for something else. Here we go. So we're watching the blue and orange line. And normally I would take the trade right when it gets to the middle of the stochastic. But I want to see it pushing down either to the top or the bottom. But in this case, since we have an upward trend, I'm going to wait until that starts. There we go. There we go. So I've entered the market right there. We've got about one more second to go, and there we go. So we got another one. Now, what happened here? What did I do? So as soon as the orange and blue line, it started to come down just like this. Looks like it was going to push down even further. Now we're also going at an upward trend as well. I'm anticipating the bounce here off of the 5% line on the stochastic, and as soon as that happens, we get a little bit of a push up, and then we take that profit just like that. Let's go back over to the trade manager, and this is successful. Let's take our new balance inside a pocket option, which is 301.93. And this is all you do, guys. Now, you're not going to win them all, okay? I may have got a couple lucky wins, but you do not have to win them all, especially with the trade manager. As a matter of fact, you can have a win rate as low as 25%. and you can still come out profitable with this calculator. And so it's really, really powerful, guys. Let's take the trade amount, 109, which is still the same, and let's go ahead and take on the next trade. So I'm going to wait for a good push down on the stochastic, looking for that orange and blue line. I'm going to keep my mouse over the buy button here because I feel like I'm going to be doing a buy. But it looks like it's just kind of hanging out there at the top. Oh, there we go. There we go. I don't know why, but that just felt good to me. But that's okay. If it's not a win, it's not a win, and that's all right. So that was a loss. Let's go back over here to the trade manager, mark this as a loss. The next trade amount is 206. Great. Let's go over here, put this in, 206. And let's go ahead and look for the next trade. And that's all you have to do, guys. If you have a loss or anything, just keep on going. Look at this. We've got overall downward trend right here. So if we get a nice overbought point on that stochastic, that could be an opportunity there. But I'm waiting for that to come all the way down and then turn around and go back up. I'm going to go ahead and enter, guys. Another sell. Looked like that was overextended right there. And sure enough, we've got another win. So that's 3 wins so far with this linebacker strategy. Let's go back over to the trade manager. Mark this as a win. The session is completed because we're under $1 here. Let's go ahead and click on reset. And let's mark this session as completed. Add another session to the session counter. Back over on Pocket Option, check out the new balance, which is 302.74. 302.74. Now, normally when you don't have any type of money management system, if you have a loss, it will take you 2 wins in a row to make up for that 1 loss. And I think this is one of the reasons why a lot of people lose money with Pocket Option is that they don't have any type of money management system. There's no structure. They don't know the exact trade amounts to enter. And this Wealth Warriors Trade Manager takes care of all that for you. So the next trade amount is going to be 110. Back over here, let's go ahead and enter that in. And go ahead and continue. Let's look for another setup here. Something that looks pretty stable, of course. And it's really difficult to explain why I'm entering every single trade because everything is moving so rapidly. I mean, this little dot here on the line chart is just going crazy. It's just up and down. We've got the stochastic oscillator. It's also moving very quickly. And so, but this is primarily what I'm looking at is the indicator at the bottom of the chart. I mean, this is where my primary focus is, but I'm also looking at the line chart to see the overall trend as well. And I'm taking those two things together into consideration and figuring out if it's going to be a good time to enter. That looks pretty good for me. I'm going to go ahead and enter. Looks like it went against me, so that's going to be a loss. Back over here to the trade manager. Let's mark this as a loss. Next trade amount is 206. Over here. Let's go ahead and continue and find something else here that we can work with. That looks pretty tempting right there. I'm going to go ahead and sell that. We've got about 3 more seconds to go, guys. 1 more second, and that's a win. So let's go back over here. Now, what happened there? Well, I could see the price come up, but I could also see that it was a little bit overextended here on the stochastic oscillator. I went ahead and entered. That's it. Really simple. It's nothing complicated, guys. If you're looking for something simple, try this out. Of course, like I said before, practice everything on demo first. So the next one's a win. We've came out in profit. The next trade size is under $1. I will go ahead and mark this session as completed. Clear everything out. Add another session over here on the session counter. All right, great. So now we're ready for another session. And one thing that I wanted to point out is that you can customize these settings right here to fit your risk level. So each of us has kind of like a certain tolerance on what is risky or what is conservative. It's different for everybody, okay? We've got members in the group that have super risky settings, and they can do whatever they want. It's their money. They're free to just, go crazy if they want to. Totally up to them. And also everybody has different levels or different skill levels when it comes to trading. So that's also a factor that you have to think about. But for myself, I like to go ultra conservative. So for the settings for me, I must win 2 out of 11 trades to become profitable. So let's go ahead and continue trading here. I've got 110 for the next trade amount. You can see this is starting to compound here. So over here on Pocket Option, and I'm just gonna put that in there. Great. All right, let's go ahead and look for another setup. We can switch the different chart. This looks pretty good. It looks like it's kind of been overbought down here. And ooh, but it looks like, guys, that was a loss. So I jumped into that pretty quick, but that's okay. Over on the trade manager, let's mark this first one as a loss. Take the next trade amount, which is 206. Great, let's look for another one. And everything is just happening so fast with this. So you really got to be on the ball. I'm going to go ahead and enter this. I saw the orange and blue line hitting towards the bottom there, but it looks like, guys, that is another loss. And that's okay. Let's just keep on trading. The next trade amount is 383. Great. Let's check the payouts on the assets. Everything is paying out around 92%, so that's great. And let's go ahead and continue. I know if you have, if you're just using the same dollar amount and you're trading with, like, say $10, if you have 2 losses, then you're going to have 3 wins in a row to make up for those 2 losses. And that can get a lot of traders into some kind of emotional mess where you're trying to play catch up, you're trying to make up for losses. You get into that situation, it becomes very stressful. And that is another loss. So let's go back over here to the trade manager. Mark this as a loss. The next trade size is $6.99. Great. Well, let's go ahead and continue. Looks like we've got overall upward trend. Looking, ooh, I missed that. I almost went into that. Look at that nice push there. Let's see if we get another one. I'm looking down here at the stochastic. If that's pushing down, let me go ahead and jump in and getting another push up. 1 more second, and there we go. We've got a win. Back over here on the trade manager. So we've had 3 losses in a row. We've had 1 win, and we are still not completed with the session. So over here on the calculations on the trade manager, you know, I've got this, so I must win 2 out of 11. So we need another win to make this session profitable. So the next trade amount is 192. So now we're using a smaller amount. Look at that. So we had 699. And what happens with most traders is they end up trading with larger amounts. After they've had losses, they trade with larger and larger amounts to make up for those losses. And that's not what we have to do here with the trade manager. As you can see, we are now using a smaller amount to win instead of a larger amount. So that's 192. Kind of like losing my voice here, guys. Been doing a lot of videos lately, but is what it is. Let me go ahead and see it right there. 2 more seconds, 1 more second, and what do we got? Looks like, yeah, it was a loss. It just barely got my entry there, so let's go ahead and mark this as a loss. Next trade amount is $4. Great, let's go ahead and continue. This is looking pretty interesting right here. If this comes down anymore, let me go ahead and enter that. We got, oh, that was not really good. It got me on that one. So we have another loss, guys. Let's go back over here to the trade manager. So how many losses is that? We got 3, 4, 5 losses, only 1 win. What's going to happen, guys? Are we going to make it? Getting a little bit nervous, right? Well, this can happen. You can have multiple losses, and that's what the trade manager is designed to have, those losses. So let's go ahead and enter the next trade amount, which is $8.35. And a lot of people on YouTube will not show the losses. That's the reality, guys. So let's go through here, and that looks pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and enter. We got about 2 more seconds. Okay, that's another loss, right? Let's go back over to the trade manager, enter in another loss. Next trade amount is $17.42. And some of my members inside of VIP, and some of you guys out there, you say that you get a little bit nervous if I have losses. That's okay, because I've been doing this for so long. I've had so many losses over the years, And so that's okay. It's just something that I'm used to. And let's go over here, and that looks pretty good. Now it looks like it's kind of going down, and I'm gonna wait for a good pullback if I get one. Let's go ahead and try this out. So we've got about 2 more seconds to go, 1 more second, and that is a win, guys. Back over here on the Trade Manager, mark this as a win. The session is profitable. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losses on this trading session. Let's go back over to Pocket Option and see what the balance says. There it is, guys. We are still profitable, $304.74. How is it possible? It's possible with the Trade Manager, but most importantly, guys, if you find that this is a strategy that you guys want to do, go for it, but please practice this in demo first. Try it out. Let me know in the comments what you think. I wish you all the best of success, and we'll see you on the next video. Have a good day. Take care. Hey everybody, Mark here. I have a question for you. Are you struggling to become profitable with binary options? Does it seem like no matter how many wins you get, your account balance is either going down or it just seems to stay in the same spot? Well, I've got a solution for you. It's called the Wealth Warriors Trade Manager, and it gives you the potential to make between 5 and 10% on your account every day. You could have multiple losses in a row and still come out profitable. And you guys know that, having proper risk management is your key to success with trading. And this Trade Manager gives you that edge that you need. So join the VIP Telegram group now and get access to all my premium calculators and spreadsheets. Now's the time. It's time to take your trading to the next level. You'll find the link below in the description of this video. Have a good day.